Hey, my name is Ken Nicholas, and I'm a real estate broker with Windermere. I've been doing real estate this is my 16th year. So this is my third career. So I spent 20 years in the Army, and then once I retired from the Army in 1985, I went to Western Washington University and got a degree in counseling. And I was a counselor, an addiction and mental health counselor for 15 years. And the reason I got into real estate is I got burned out. And my brother-in-law was a builder who had a lot of homes for sale in these different plats. And he said to me one day, "Geez, Ken, you're just killing yourself in these nonprofit agencies that you're working at. You ever think about real estate?" And from then on out, I got a license, and it's been the best job of my life. You know, I didn't know anything about real estate. I like looking at houses, but I went to a 2-week course over in Bellevue, a certification course, and then I took my license. The hard thing was, where do you put your license at? I remember when I went to Windermere, people would congratulate me, like I got promoted, that I went to Windermere from John L. Scott, which surprised me. But I think if you look at market share in Seattle, I believe we're about 32% of all sales last year were done by Windermere, which is the highest. And you want to, as a real estate broker, you want to be with a company that does a lot of business. If you're with a good, reliable company that's consistent, you're always on the edge of change. So you know it's coming and you're adapting to it. And Windermere is that type of company. You know, we have some pretty heavy hitters in the office. Al Johnson, Cherie, of course, Dorothy Driver. I mean, all those people, Sue Harambe, they do a lot of business. And I think just the expertise is good. Well, first of all, I love real estate, and I think, you know, it's about your attitude. And if you love something and you're passionate about it, you'll work harder to accomplish whatever your goals are in real estate. It's a wonderful process to be with buyers or sellers and help them through their purchase or sale. You should look at a real estate broker in what's their, you know, kind of what their life experiences are prior to getting into real estate. Because I think most people know about, I don't know, 5 to 10 real estate brokers, you know, they've come across, or their family will say, "Oh yeah, this one's great," or "That one's great." But I think it's important to have somebody that's had experience. And I've had a lot of life experiences. And I think because of those life experiences, I'm a better real estate broker. Being in combat, for instance, I mean, you have to think on your feet. You know, you can't get shook. You have to keep your presence about you. You know, it can be like that when you're in a transaction, when you're dealing with somebody on the other side that's volatile, or the seller's volatile. It really pays to just be, you know, kind of cool, calm, and collected. Very important. You know, I almost died on August 8, 1966. It's the first time I got wounded. And I remember that my unit got surrounded, and we were in an ambush situation. And most people were either getting wounded or killed. And turns out at the end of the day, I think 25 people died in my company. And that's a lot out of maybe 75 people that were there. So a third of them died, and probably more than a third were wounded after that. So when I got wounded, I was wounded by a grenade. And so the enemy was so close that they were, you know, lobbing grenades in on us. When it went off, it bent my rifle. So I couldn't shoot after that, and my whole right arm was all messed up from shrapnel, and blew my helmet off, and so I was kind of stuck there without being able to protect myself. And so that, you know, being able to kind of live through that experience can really, you know, if you use it in a positive manner, I think it can help you. I always say, if nobody's shooting at you, it's not a bad day. You know, just being alive, it's just, you have to be positive. And particularly in real estate, I mean, you're your own boss, which to me is the best advantage of being a real estate broker. You know, I wake up every morning broke, you know, and how am I going to earn a living today? If you kick back, you know, you don't make very much, you know. If you get out there and really hustle, you can do pretty well. One time when I first started in real estate, I thought maybe I was going to use my logo as I sell ugly houses, because it seemed like every house that I sold for probably the first year or two were ugly. I mean, really ugly. And I would go in these, you know, beautiful listings down by Lake Washington or in Madison Park or Capitol Hill and go, boy, I bet you this would be great to have this listing. But, you know, those ugly listings really forced me to do a lot of marketing and being creative, and which helps my ability to, you know, continue to sell homes in the future.